Hey guys, second video today, but this is just going over key things to include when you're making your split for working out. So number one is going to be frequency over volume. So whether you're running a push-pull legs or upper lower anterior posterior full body, it's really important to keep at least a 2 to 3 times frequency. So that just runs off the principle that your first set is your most important. The first set's going to be the most stimulating. You're going to get the best growth off that. Whether you're doing full body and you have a first set for everything, you're doing 1 to 2 sets per exercise, or you're doing an upper lower where you have, say, 3 first sets per muscle group a week. If you're doing upper lower 6 days a week, or two, whether you're doing 2 times frequency, or push pull legs where you do push pull legs rest, getting 2 times frequency per muscle. So that's the most important part, I would say, because first set's the most stimulating. So you could run a bro split training each muscle once a week, but the part that's going to hinder you on is whether you're hitting the same weekly volume per muscle, you're going to get diminishing returns over time as you go throughout your workout, because having everything done in one day is going to accumulate fatigue. So, return on investment is going to start tapering down as your session goes on, as you accumulate fatigue. It leads to more recovery and more things like that. So, whether you were to hit on an arms day 10 sets for your arm in one day, when you could hit 10 plus throughout the week, getting more return on investment as time goes on. So the first set is the most important, and I would say that's really the best thing to base off when you're starting your own split. The next would be enjoyment, because you could run the most optimal split in the world, but if you don't have some enjoyment when making your split, then you're not really going to be able to keep doing it. If you're running full body and you don't enjoy full body, are you really going to be able to give it your all? Because this ties into the next bit, intensity. You want to be running at maximum intensity throughout this. Whether this is for muscle building or fat loss, intensity is key. High intensity is what's going to get you the most return on investment. A lot of people like to cite the fat burning phase as a cope for staying in low intensity, but the fat burning phase doesn't mean you're burning body fat, which is the way a lot of people interpret it. Your body at a lower intensity exercise is actually burning nutritional fat, lipids. So you could do, say, 20 minutes low intensity in the fat burning phase. Low intensity, you're not going to get as much return on investment as if you were to do less time in high intensity or same time in high intensity. Your body just changes the fuel source. A lot of you switch from fats in low intensity to carbs in high intensity. High intensity is going to get you the most calories burned for fat loss and the most muscle building. Your proximity to failure is what builds your muscle, not how many sets you do. You could do 20 sets and it could be completely useless for you. 20 sets with no proximity to failure will not get you as much muscle as 2 sets to failure. So, intensity is the next one. You always want to be going in intensity, whether you're gauging this in reps in reserve, if that's something that works for you, you can do that. 1 to 2 reps in reserve will get you similar results to failure. I train to complete failure. 2 sets per exercise. The next would be eliminating redundancies. For me, this is most important because I run a high frequency split. I do 6 days a week, upper lower. I insert rests usually when I feel like I need them, but when you're running a very high frequency, low volume, high intensity split, it's best to eliminate redundancy so you're not building up excess fatigue. For example, I wouldn't do a pec fly and a bench press in the same session, because fundamentally they are a similar movement, bringing the elbows in, whether that's a fly like I just showed, or a bench press where you bring your elbows closer to the midline. So, whether you're running a lower frequency split and can recover from that is a different story. But, of course, everyone's maximum recoverable volume is different per person. So, my set number shouldn't dictate this, and you can best gauge this by adjusting your intensity and your volume to what you can recover from. So you want to hit your maximum recoverable volume. You don't want to hit volume that you see just on a screen, because that won't work for you. Because 3 days a week, super high intensity could be a little bit difficult for some people. And that doesn't mean that it's entirely better for everyone. It's the way that you program it. You could get similar results on 2 times frequency with super high intensity and a little bit more volume than I do. I just enjoy working out. Do it as a hobby. So that's really the best thing about it. Is you want to do what you like, high intensity, maximum recoverable volume, high frequency. 1 times frequency won't cut it in the same way that 2 or 3 times will. The differences between 2 and 3 times frequency is marginal, I would say. You would have a better time just choosing what works for you. Stacking on extra things, if you can't recover from it, wouldn't be worth it. You want to recover, dial in your recovery, dial in your intensity, and do maximum recoverable volume. Because you're not going to grow anything if you can't recover. Alright, end video.